because people were making a big fuss about this girl, Lily Phillips, who is a OnlyFans actress. And she had sex with 100 guys.
101.
101 guys.
But imagine if she had stopped at 99.
She was determined.
And I thought she did it in 24 hours, but it was actually in 14 hours.
14 hours, and now she's going to have sex. Claims she's going to try to have sex with 1,000 guys in 24 hours.
So you might know me as the girl who's been with 101 guys in a day. Now, I'm currently in training to do 1,000 guys in a day. And on the 15th December, I shall be taking on 300 guys in a day, which is the most amount of guys I've ever done. And so it's going to be hard, but in comparison to the 1,000, this should be light work.
Which, I mean, I did the math. That's like 1.4 minutes per guy.
Well, that was my first question when that story dropped, because I was like, what does having sex with 100 guys in 14 hours entail? Do they all finish, or do they just kind of give her a few pumps? Is there a cue, as they would say in British English?
Sort of watch the doc.
Yeah, I didn't, and I will not be.
Don't. It's a huge waste of time, but
I get the gist.
The logistics are, she has so she's made $2.5 million off OnlyFans, probably more
already
at this point. She's a very successful content creator, but she's work, not to say sex work is work.
Yeah.
But
that's
she's
her job,
busting her ass making content, and so she cooked up
guys
this
are
scheme.
Busting in her ass to make content.
And she has a team, she has a personal assistant and she has 8 people who work for her.
Yeah,
and
she's like the free press.
Yeah.
It's like a whole operation.
She's like the me of trying to sell stuff on Depop. That's me trying to list 100 items on Depop. Anyway, so then this guy whose name I forget, some British guy, she's also British, made a documentary about it. And then this clip was circulating of her crying, looking upset.
Yeah.
But really, she just looks tired because she just had sex with 100 guys for 14 hours. And she said that they came in her eyes.
Yeah, there was a lot of feminists on Twitter being like, her eyes are red because so many men were coming in her face after she repeatedly asked them not to.
One load in the eye is really, and obviously a lot of these guys are going to want to bust on her face and the accidents happen. But even getting a little bit of cum in your eyes can get red and sting.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, I'm sure she had a lot of cum in her eyes.
Yeah.
But it's like...
So now, were these guys pre-vetted, at the Ayala gangbang?
Barely.
Tested?
She said they had to send screenshots of their STD test. And at one point he asks her if she has sex with a condom, but she blows them without and lets them come in her mouth.
Okay.
And he asks her if she's worried about getting HIV, and she seems unaware that you can get it.
She's
through
I already have it.
Spunk in the mouth. She says,
I just love to shag. I love shagging.
Yeah, she loves shagging. And for most of the documentary, which is pretty boring, can't recommend it. Yeah, she's talking about how she's excited, how it makes her happy. Something's really wrong with her, obviously, but to each his own.
Yeah. Well, this stunt basically unlocked a whole viral discourse of people being like, she's insanely traumatized, and she either doesn't know it and or can't admit it. And people were really reading into her body language and actual language to determine how much trauma she incurred and whether she was being held hostage, and
she's
all
just
this stuff.
It's like akin to talking like a steel mill worker after they got
I
off
look
a
like that on a
ship.
good day after answering a few emails.
It's I forget who it was. I think it was Catherine who said that. this is what women look like
Yeah.
after a normal work day.
Yeah, definitely.
She's definitely is traumatized, but not by this experience.
I mean, she's definitely like physically traumatized from having sex with 100 guys, but that's an occupational hazard of the job she set out to do.
She said she wasn't so sore. She's already done She's like doing gangbang videos, drinking piss and stuff. She's already doing like pretty extreme stuff. I'd say it's probably more physically traumatic to have like rough sex for a long duration of time with one or a couple people versus having sex. Well, so then what happened was each guy was supposed to have 5 minutes.
Okay.
He talks to some of the guys who all obscure their identities and like do voice changers and stuff. One guy traveled from Switzerland.
Okay.
And
these are her fans and pay
experience.
pigs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But then she started running out of time, so guys got increasingly less time as the day went on.
Right.
And at one point in the doc, she's crying because she describes dissociating, but I feel like the filmmaker kind of projects the negativity onto it.
Right. Well,
but
that's
she
what they're
expresses
there for.
remorse for not getting everyone off.
Yeah.
And that's why she's like emotional.
Aw.
But I think it shouldn't count if they don't come.
She's like a service animal. Well, they probably do come in the end one way or another. Like they finish themselves off or something. From that experience.
She said she claimed she had to, quote, stand on business and tell guys before they finish that their time was done and that they would get upset.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure was just unpleasant.
Yeah, she's not opportunistic and predatory like a healthcare CEO. She's a benevolent actor. Yeah. I don't know. My take on this is that the only reason people are talking about it is because she's very pretty in a wholesome and clean-cut way.
She looks like Annie Hamilton.
A little bit, yeah. The 1,000 cock stare. And like, she looks like an Aritzia model.
Yeah.
And if she looked like a suicide girl and had like shitty tattoos and slutty piercings and like torn fishnets, nobody would really care.
Right.
Because there's plenty of girls like that who are in like the middle of the OnlyFans bell curve.
For sure.
But yeah, I feel like the whole contrast between her looks and her brand is the marketing ploy. It's almost like the Pam Anderson no makeup discourse, where like it's irrelevant whether she's over wearing makeup. It's irrelevant whether it's true that she's stopped wearing makeup because her beloved makeup artist of many decades died.
That's nice.
Yeah,
I haven't heard that, but
that's like the excuse they give. Yeah, it's like, she's an actress and it's literally her job to stay in the public eye. And so the no makeup thing is straight up a PR narrative that's designed to spark a conversation and keep her relevant.
Do you think she's wearing some makeup?
Probably. Like she's definitely like wearing moisturizer and
right, of course. I mean,
maybe
when I
a little bit of like nude lip balm or something.
When I do my like Korean full, many serums and look all glassy and stuff.
Yeah.
That's not makeup.
Yeah.
But I've spent like 45 minutes applying like creams and serums to my face.
And it does alter your appearance.
Yeah. She's doing gua sha for sure.
Yeah. Like there's probably a lot of prep to achieve that no makeup look.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is that it's not as innocent or organic as it looks, And I love Pam and I'm not judging her. I have like no bone to pick with her. I bet she is fucking tired of getting all gussied up for like award shows and red carpets and stuff. But yeah, in a way, like she's cool because she's managed to do the impossible which is she went from having a reputation for being like a rowdy and dysfunctional whore with a sex tape to having the reputation of being like a classy, gracefully aging lady who's like an animal rights activist and a human rights activist.
Right.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
But it takes some strategizing and coordination to pull that off.
I mean, and she does look good.
Yeah,
and
she looks
there's a way in which
amazing.
wearing no to minimal makeup does make you look younger.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, of course. But yeah, what I'm saying is like with this girl, she is a knowing participant in her branding and marketing. And the question of whether she's personally, privately traumatized by her loose behavior is also kind of irrelevant.
Well, she was probably traumatized like many pornographic actresses prior to pursuing this line of work.
Yeah, or not. Who knows? I mean, of course, like it's
I
most
think-
likely she was.
I mean, she's making hardcore porn.
yeah,
You know, she's like, has her own basically like porn production studio, but she's in all the videos.
she's traumatized by making millions.
She's not just like doing the bikini pic OnlyFans thing. She's like doing like gangbangs and, you know, she's like effectively
She
like,
has skin in the game.
yeah, but like anyone who does that, they were probably molested or something.
Yeah, they're
happened, you know,
weird,
there's-
unusual, neurodivergent. My take on that is like just like there is always going to be some number of people who are like antisocial and deviant and who reject taking on normal amounts of responsibility, who reject participating in the social contract, who choose to live their life on the streets. No matter how much the state tries to intervene on their behalf, there are always going to be women who are like whores and sluts and nymphos.
Yeah.
It's like a timeless archetype. Those people are not normal. They're not average,
No.
but they exist and they're valid.
For sure. I thought it was interesting. She said in her follow-up interview that it's kind of like being a prostitute,
Which was so funny because it's like, well, you are a prostitute.
just because like they're not directly paying
Yeah,
you
you're not
for
paying the
sex.
Johns directly. They're paying them indirectly. Like, okay, you're a secret third type of prostitute.
Like you're still a prostitute. But I think she meant like the way that a prostitute has to have sex with many
Right.
men.
Yeah.
Sort of in a, she used the word robotic, but
Yeah.
fashion.
She means like in the old school traditional pre-social media sense, where you had to like, well, there was that story that was in the news recently about a woman who I think like won a lawsuit against her husband because he was
drugged
drugging
her.
her and having guys come and rape her.
That story is so
Insane,
crazy,
yeah.
dude.
And she was like a little old lady.
Yeah, I know. That
And
story
he'd been
was
doing it for
was, like,
decades.
France.
It was like a Welbeck novel. Yeah. Only French people would come up with that.
I know, they're so sick. Lily Phillips being British is funny. She is like this
Yeah.
very specific kind of Brit skank.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. It's like those videos you see on Twitter of like British girls drunk at the pub at like 5 p.m. because last call is at 8 and they have like 14 drinks.
Yeah, and then they're walking around like Manchester in like a booty shorts or whatever.
Yeah. And there's like right wing commentators being like, the West has fallen.
I mean, yeah, the 1000 will be. She's, you know, her psychology. She's not that. A little bit like Luigi, you know. The psychology is very interesting, but she's not like extremely bright, you know.
Yeah, but she's willful.
But she has extreme will and ambition.
She has a vision. She has a mind of her own.
Stamina. I mean, remember like when Sasha Grey came out and everyone was really scandalized by her. And she went on Tyra Banks, and Tyra Banks, when she had like the daytime talk show, was like, you're gonna be in diapers by the time you're 30 and stuff, and it was like like shaming her.
Yeah.
She was like 18 or something, wearing like a baby tee, but like she knew what she was doing.
I can say all that I want to you, Sasha. You know, I didn't live your life. It is so easy for me with my past and my life to look at you and say, why are you doing this? And I can understand you rolling your eyes at me and saying, whatever. But Tiana has lived it. And when someone has lived it and they challenge you, it's just a whole nother world. And I even see how you're responding to her is a little bit different than you're responding to me. And it's almost like you're second guessing or checking or something, which with me was a lot different. And I can understand why it's different.
And all the other aside, what you're physically doing to your body, by the time you're 30 years old, you're going to be wearing a diaper.
No,
because
actually,
you're not going to be able to hold in your bodily fluids.
That's
Dr. Drew, tell us, he's the doctor.
If she doesn't get prolapse of those organs, yes, she'll be wearing a diaper, yes.
And also, I don't
friend-
have a pimp, so, that's a little different, and I'm not a prostitute. And that's a whole different world. That's a whole
Your
other
pimp
life.
is sitting next to you.
No,
Oh my
he's
gosh.
not a pimp.
What does he do? We will be right back.
Your pimp is sitting next to
And obviously Lily Phillips knows what she's doing too.
Yeah, she has agency.
A ton.
And of course,
She's a girl
this has
boss doing
sparked the
doing her
usual
thing.
conversation about agency. This is where the wing led
guess
us.
what? You can use your agency to traumatize yourself, to do all sorts of fucked up.
Yeah, and traumatized people have agency.
I mean, I always wonder how come. I mean, it's obvious, but like boxers or like UFC fighters or like guys who like, punch each other in the head and bleed and stuff. Like no one's ever wrestler. Like there's no like lobby that's like, this is terrible. These men are traumatizing themselves. It's like, but for some reason when women have tons of promiscuous sex, people come out like lobbying against them. But like you're allowed to do whatever
and, like,
you
blaming
want.
men. I actually remember saying on the pod many moons ago that like doing porn is to women what being like UFC or MMA is to men, which is why they often couple together and then weird domestic abuse hijinks ensue.
I mean, yeah, they're like I was watching some of the girls before the Tyson fight, you know, and I was like, damn, they're probably, I mean, Tyson himself, like so much fucked up shit happens to people in their life, and then they have to figure out an avenue of like existing in the world. And for some people that's like some kind of violence.
Yeah.
And it's sanctioned. Sorry.
Yeah. And like, once again, the story just goes to show how like incoherent feminism is.
He asks her at one point if she's a feminist in the documentary.
Yeah.
She goes, yeah, what's that? She's like, you just want equality for boys and girls.
Yeah. Well, she's a feminist in practice, not in theory.
She says she was also in theory.
Girls like that are always feminists.
She's a total feminist.
Because they're the masters of their own domain.
Yeah.
And like, as usual, it's this thing where feminists are like, no, we hate men and we don't want them to save us, but we secretly do want them to save us, but we don't want anybody to say this aloud because we want to cling to the myth that we're like strong, independent, powerful women.
I think Lily Phillips might not want to be rescued, honestly.
Yeah.
Because she probably does have a ton of simps out there. One guy brought her a rose. When they go in the room and the cameraman starts gagging, there's always like condoms. First, also, I'll just say, I feel like it doesn't even count as sex if you use a condom because they're not really inside of you. I've said this before, not to take away from her,
So she actually had sex with 0 men. She's a virgin.
Yeah, exactly.
In the eyes of the church.
I want the flow chart. I want the
It's
Ayala,
unconsummated,
how many
yeah.
busted, how it
Well,
all
okay.
went down.
What do you make of this claim that the men are to blame?
To blame for
Yeah.
what?
Well, I see a lot of women lashing out at these simps and pay pigs,
I mean,
which again is incoherent because it seems to rob the woman of agency in the
she
equation.
invited these guys to fuck her for 5 to 2 minutes, depending on how late you got there.
Yeah.
In the documentary, there's a point where there's a bunch of guys canceling, and her assistant is like reaching out to guys that have been waitlisted and stuff. Like, it takes a lot of like coordinating.
Like, bring in the migrants.
It's so cool. It's like it takes a ton of coordination, you know. I forgot what I was gonna say. I think that was it.
Yeah. I had an art history reference about mechanical assembly lines, but I forgot.
That meme with the guys lining up. One guy brought her that flower. Lots of, she keeps calling it spunk, which is so gross.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's very British.
Yeah. Sorry for being good at her job, I guess.
I mean, she picked a very, very narrow lane and she's staying in it.
What, having sex with a bunch of guys?
Yeah.
I mean, Riley Reid just had a baby.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Mm-hmm. And she's retired, I'm assuming.
I don't know. I'm assuming.
I mean, Asa Akira has 2 kids. She showed me pictures of her kids. They're like mad cute. And she seems like a good mom. And her husband seems nice, like nice family.
It's really like
She asked me, she was like, do you ever worry that your child is going to grow up and see some of the things you've said and some of the things people have said about you on the internet? And I was like, girl. She wasn't attacking or criticizing me. It was like an honest question. But I was like,
funny coming. That's rich.
But yeah, I mean,
the real, like, you don't need to be upset on Lily Phillips's behalf. She's a millionaire. You like, there's like the 1%ers of porn actresses who get all of this like publicity, which is they've Machiavellian.
Yeah.
But they're fine. Like, there's a whole like middle ground of like girls that do porn that does really traumatize them, and they don't end up making enough money for it to be worth it. Like, most people
end up killing themselves.
Yeah.
Or like overdosing and going into a coma.
Right. Like, they don't
like, there was that spate of porn stars that like died in quick succession like a year or 2 ago.
August Ames, R.I.P.
Yeah, I mean, like, I suspect with porn also it's a bell curve, and at the top there are a lot of really high powered, high achieving women who have a vision and are emotionally disciplined and regulated, and those are the ones who become millionaires and so on and so forth. And then there's a lot of people who went into it because they were already extremely damaged and troubled and addicted to drugs, and they're
low IQ,
low income, whatever. And like, their problems preceded the porn.
Right, but the porn didn't help. I mean, it is, it's an terrible industry, but like, Lily Phillips, as far as much as you could say you can consume porn ethically, like, paying her directly for her content seems to be like the best
She's
scenario.
She's like us. She follows a subscription model. There's no middleman.
Exactly. She's just like us.
Do you think you could ever do porn? Not ever, but
at this point?
Not at this point, but do you think that you have the mind frame to have ever done it?
Yeah.
It's too late now. Well, never say never, but
Well, I mean, there's that. People love to point out that I have that sex scene with the Pajit in Eugene Kolorenko's Wobble Palace, you know, and that's on like porn sites.
Yeah.
Because it's like, there's nudity.
Yeah.
And I'm simulating sex.
uh-huh.
And maybe when I was younger, I've been swindled, but probably not. I think I have my wits about me a bit much.
Yeah.
Not to brag. But then I think there's like Mia Khalifa and like Lana Rhoades who do the late career pivot to doing the like trauma cycle, like MRAT podcast to talk about how
Call Her Daddy, feminist activism.
And that's, I find so disingenuous. It's just being a different kind of whore.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's like the famous BAP line to like Ava Gobbledygook, like may as well do porn.
I mean, you already at that
Yeah,
point.
because what you're doing is already way, way worse.
Yeah.